Good afternoon and welcome to the October 20th version of our customer success update. I know it's been a while since I've done a video, but I had a few people mention that they'd like to maybe see that again, so we're going to try it again and see how it goes. Just want to start off with a safety message for everyone. I know we've had a lot of messages about the fire, but this one's just about it getting darker earlier. Reminder that until the time changes in the morning, there's probably a lot of kids and other pedestrians out and about while it's dark. While you're out commuting, so just be extra cautious. I've included a link to a tailboard in the email if you want to take a look at that. For recognition, definitely wanted to recognize everyone that's been involved in the fires. I can't really say it any better than Robin, Jake, and Dave, and a few others have already said it, but just huge thanks. I know we've got folks making calls, people out on the streets in person, so really appreciate everyone's efforts. Also wanted to take a moment to thank Deanna Grady. She set up a ride-along with 2 new credit employees, and through the partnership we've set up with the credit team on one of our last calls, they said, hey, it would be great for us to be able to go out and see what it's like with the customers. And so big thanks to Deanna for helping to set that up and give some other lines of business and experience of going out and meeting our customers. Couple tips for you here. This one's from Meredith Morford over in Bakersfield. Many of you might have already seen this, but for those of you that can't, you can turn on your out-of-office message and edit what it says on your iPhone. And so to do that, you just kind of go to your home screen in Settings, go to Mail, and then Accounts, find your PG&E one, and then go to the Automatic Reply section. And that'll let you actually adjust your external and internal out-of-office reply. So remember, if you ever wake up sick and feeling like you can't go into the office, you can adjust that without having to fire up your whole laptop to get that going. Also, there's a great tool out there. I believe most of you have seen the time and territory tool that Matt Berg has made. There's a mid-market version and an LEA version, but did want to point out that on both of them, there's a great section of it that has multiple year usage and cost analysis, and it kind of gives you a visual of each of the 3 years, both for usage and cost, and that's really helpful. You can pick as many locations or all locations if you want. Definitely check that out. Also, don't forget, I've had a few instances where I've uploaded something to SharePoint, sent out a link to people, and they say, hey, this link doesn't work. And then I'll go to the link and it does work. Well, turns out if you upload something to SharePoint, a file, it automatically checks it out to you whether you're opening the file or not. And in most cases, I was just uploading a file and sending a link. So I've now realized that. Just wanted to share that tip with you. If you upload a file to SharePoint, just know that it will automatically check it out to you even if you don't open it. So be sure to check that in if you're going to send the link out to anybody. One action item for you guys this week, just if you get an email saying that someone has made a comment to you on Salesforce, or someone's made edits to a case in Salesforce, please be sure to reply on the Salesforce case itself, and that way that communication back and forth will stay on the record of the case. If you just hit reply to the email and reply to the person, that's great, but then it doesn't stick with the case record. So if you can do that on the case itself, that'd be great. Got a new job aid for you. I don't know if you ever get a request for multiple blue bills in terms of a PDF from a customer. I know that we've got the Kubra tool, works great for running them one at a time, but we've had a couple come in from the account reps for some customers. I think Cam had one for 200 locations for a customer. And thanks to Cam Malloy's efforts, we actually have a new process lined up. And so I've got a new job aid and a wiki page on how to request multiple blue bills in PDF form on behalf of a customer. And that way you don't have to do them one at a time. For some reminders and some new information, I've got a volume 1 of a new CCA newsletter that came out from the CCA team. It's awesome. It's actually geared towards the contact center. There's a lot of great content in there. So just take a quick peek. I've got a link to that in our email. Also, the annual PDP performance reports. I know some people have been asking, hey, when are we going to get the report that says how my customer is done on the PDP program? Well, just a reminder that PDP technically goes through October 31st, and so every day that's going by, they're still getting those credits. Because of the delay in terms of billing cycles and all of that, it looks like first half of December we'll get those reports out to everyone. And so those will be coming out for all of the assigned customers. If you do want to request one once they're available, in mid-December, you can submit something through Business Ops Intake Request Form. And you can reach out to Vince Berg if you have any questions. He did mention on rare occasion if someone wants one early, he can try to do it, but please keep in mind it won't be complete because the PDP season is not yet over. Next item was just a reminder for folks. I know we've got the excess vacation reports coming out, and you're probably hearing from your boss if you're a little bit over on vacation. I'd just like to encourage all of you to consider donating some of your excess vacation to the fire victims as a way to both help them out and get off the naughty list. So I've got a link in the email, but you can specify to have the funds either go through Red Cross or through the PSEA Fire Relief, and that one would actually go to employees who have been affected by the fires. And so if you are over on vacation, consider that as a way to help bring that vacation balance down a little bit. For non-core, just a couple last things here. On October 31st, Phil Furness is going to be hosting a WebEx for any account rep with curtailable non-core customers. So please join if you have received an invite. A few things have changed for this year, and we'd like you to check that out. Also, the next day on November 1st, Jim Hendricks, our non-core gas expert, he's going to be sending out the pre-winter planning email to all curtailable non-core customers. So some of you have asked, hey, I've got a non-core customer on a fuel cell. The small fuel cells are not curtailable, and so this will just be focused on the curtailable non-core customers. But that'll have information in this letter about non-core gas customers' responsibility to curtail if requested, some resources for them on what to do if a curtailment is called, and we've also got a new video that we put out. It's customer facing, and we'll be going over information on that as well, and a link in that letter. And lastly, just closing out with a little bit of perspective, I just know I personally hate it when I set out to escalate something or fix a problem, and then I find out after diving into it that it really wasn't what I thought, and maybe I didn't have all the information, and yet I've already started to escalate. So I've really been trying to be more careful about when I escalate things. And with that in mind, and just a reminder to try to get all the details as we can, I really like the quote I came across by Albert Einstein. And he said, if I had 20 days to solve a problem, I'd spend the first 19 days to define it. So with that, I hope you all have a great and safe weekend, and we'll talk to you again soon.